we got to take this one slow because it is so rich. Okay. It's like when you get a little piece of that Wagyu beef, you know, and it costs you $200. You want to eat it slow, right? You want to savor your favorite moments. And that's what we'll be doing today, because this morning, right before the show, we're checking the Bring Back group. We're organizing everything. And I'm really digging this morning buzz before the show where what?
Does that mean you're turning into an alcoholic?
No, not this kind of buzz. Oh, for God's sakes. No, this morning buzz that everybody has in the Bring Back group. It's like everybody knows the show's going to be starting at around 10:30. They're up. They're in the chat. We're discussing news. It feels like a real poppin' newsroom in the BBG and in the chat right before the show. You know what I mean? So I really like that vibe. What a vibe! And this morning, a piece of news came in. And I can't thank this guy enough. Go to the Bring Back group to see. Let's see what's happening right now, because I'm going to refresh this. And, of course, this is about Josh Denny. And it's from Michael Gallions. He shared this link 1 hour ago called Our Last Hope. Our Last Hope. And it has 50 loves and 131 comments so far. And the excitement in this thread alone was so joyous that, you know, again, I almost, I had to stop myself because I was spent with excitement before even getting into it. So I wanted to save it. And, you know, I've done enough talking. Let's get into it right now. It is finally happened. I don't like this number that I'm looking at, but here it is, everybody. It is Josh Denny's Last Hope, a GoFundMe where Josh Denny is asking for $10,000, not for his legal defense fund, but because he is broke. Yes. Our last hope. And I think I'm going to just start reading this, everybody. You're not going to believe what he says. And again, I have only skimmed. Here we go. Are you guys ready? Get it together, Joy. Here it is. Our Last Hope by Josh Denny. Launched today. As some of you know, these past few years have been rather challenging and difficult for our small family of two. Whoa! Stop right there. There's no such thing as a small family of two. No. We tried it. You know, we even have a dog. We call it a little family. That's not a family. You have to have a kid to have a family.
I think so.
Having a girlfriend is not having a family, bro. So look at this. He starts already. Our small family of two. Holy fuck. This is not his wife. This is a girlfriend that lives with him. That is not a family. Okay? Your family needs relatives, bro. All right? You need shared last names. You need legal documents, bro.
To be attached to each other.
Yes.
You can't just be dating.
You're not dating. Oh, hey, here's my girl and my family. My family's coming over at 9. Oh, really? Like your uncle, your aunt, your mom, your dad? No, my girlfriend. It's not your family, bro. These past few years have been rather challenging and difficult for our small family of two. Since 2013, I've been abruptly and unexpectedly without work 3 times, with the most recent being this past March. I am currently litigating with my past employer over a wrongful termination complaint, but there is no guarantee that the exhaustive legal fight will bear a positive outcome. Wow. Lie number 2. There is zero, zilch, zip, nada lawsuits filed in the state of California. Okay? There are no lawsuits filed at all. We have dug deep. Okay? We called the county that he's in, and we made sure we talked, we dug through court records, and there is nothing on file. Remember, Josh is flat broke. He came up with this concept about suing a past employer while he was riffing in his opening monologue on the implications of Josh Denny, his podcast, there is no lawsuit. These sudden job losses related to my, and I'm reading this for the first time.
Same, I haven't heard this. I'm so
I haven't
excited.
heard this. I'm reading this for the first time, so if I stumble and trip, please. These sudden job losses related to my career as a stand-up comedian have brutalized us financially. We've maxed out our credit cards, borrowed from friends and family, and worked as many side jobs as possible to keep ourselves afloat while fighting these battles. But it just hasn't been enough, and we're running out of time. Woo! This is the best song I've ever heard. Music to my ears. Let me read that again. We've maxed out our credit cards. We've borrowed from friends and family. We've worked as many side jobs as possible to keep ourselves afloat while fighting these battles. There's been no battles. But it just hasn't been enough, and we're running out of time. Keep a lie tracker going.
Okay.
Numbers. So this is lie 4, big lie 4. Unless I'm wrong here. So let's see. The first lie, we'll start here, and then we'll keep the lie tracker going. First lie is a small family of 2. Okay, that's 1. Litigating with my past employer, that's lie number 2. And you could put 2 in bold for big. And then worked as many side jobs as possible. I would call that lie number 3. There's no way.
Definitely not as possible.
As possible.
There's many side jobs.
And then running out of time, that's lie number 4. So there we go. 4 lies, 2 paragraphs. You know, where I come from, you should really only have 1 lie per paragraph. That's, didn't you ever go to school? Mike used the crit counter as a lie tracker. Guys! I've never been more in love with every single person that listens to this show than I am right now. Let me just do this real quick. This is so freaking amazing.
Oh, no.
What?
Puffa.
Puffa what?
You just dropped it. But
That's okay. Yeah, I meant to do that.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. You ever seen this keyboard I have? It's a black little keyboard. Watch this, though. So hold on. I'm just going to do something real quick. If you just let me. Okay, scoreboard. What's going on here, Mike? Hold on, I'm just trying to... Okay, perfect. Sorry, this is tough. I get so nervous doing this. Oh, wow, and it's already set up. Look at this. Okay, and then we'll just remove this. Oh, wait. Okay, check this out. Tell me if that works. Do you see that on your screens right now? Wait, you might have to...
Still wait. Oh, there we go.
Do you see that? Did it work? Let's see. Lies, big lies. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to have to keep track of this myself. Okay, so let me just readjust here. How's that? Is that good? Beautiful. Okay, so now on the screen, you can see the amount of lies and the amount of big lies. It's going to get rather confusing. I'm sure I'll screw this up, but it's pretty fucking funny. Okay, here we go. Paragraph 3. You guys ready? Yesterday, our car and my primary means of income via rideshare, Uber, was repossessed. His car was repossessed! We need a honk Chevrolet. Yesterday, our car, so they have 1 car per family, and my primary means of income via rideshare was repossessed. You know what it takes to get your car repoed? You know how long?
Doesn't that mean he hasn't paid on it in like a year?
Yes. He hasn't paid. His car was repossessed. This puts us in immediate danger of being unable to meet our basic needs this week, pay our small bills, and ultimately pay our rent this month to avoid eviction. So they're behind on rent too.
This is like...
Losing all your cash. I ain't got no money to pay the bills. No money for food. me to lose 20 pounds. Wow. What a vibe. Legend. Is this not the fucking funnest thing you have ever read? And we're barely through.
Now, let's think about this for a second. This is the man who admittedly lies 50% of the time.
Yes.
Do you think he actually is this poor?
I'll throw one more. We'll chalk this up to 5 lies. You know, there's got to be a lie in there somewhere. Is that 5 now?
Because he could be using any trick in the book to get the 10.
You know, the $10,000. Did I tell you this? He's asking for $10,000. So they're saying somebody hacked Denny. This can't be real. No, he has promoted this on his Twitter this morning. This is 100% legit. We have looked into this. Yesterday, our car and primary means of income was repossessed. This puts us in immediate danger of being unable to meet our basic needs this week, pay our small bills, and ultimately pay our rent this month to avoid eviction. So you remember, he hasn't been paying that rent. Things are really crashing. Okay.
Someone says, we know he's lying about rent. You don't get evicted after missing 1 week of payments.
Course. I think it takes like 6 months.
It's hard to get evicted.
It's really hard to get evicted. I mean, you almost have to be like not paying for 6 months, and then they file the eviction papers and the process starts going. You know what's so funny? And we're going to show you this coming up. Maybe I'll show you right now. Yeah, because don't read ahead. You know, let's enjoy this. Like I said, let's savor this beautiful moment. You know, Luke Carberry, what a great guy. Luke Carberry reminded me that Josh Denny currently lives in Patrick Melton's old apartment. I believe the same apartment that Patrick Melton was evicted from himself before moving to New York in Los Angeles. Josh Denny took over that lease, I believe. No, not took over the... Now, I might get this wrong. Maybe it was the apartment before Patrick was evicted, but it is Patrick Melton's old apartment. And thanks to Luke this morning, we gathered some pictures of Denny's current apartment, Melton's former place. We're not just talking the building, we're talking the entire unit. And here we go. Would you like to see the place that Denny is about to get thrown out from? Let me hear you. Here we go. Isn't this crazy? So here we go. And I've never seen these. Okay. I've never seen these. Here we go. Here is the beautiful atrium. What would you call this? The little corridor here. Wow, courtyard. It looks like, the courtyard. Now, remember, in LA, there's plants and palms everywhere, so it might beautify things in your mind. But if you lived in LA, this would be a dump, okay, compared to what you're used to. So don't let beautiful plants confuse you. Like, if I had these plants in front of my house, I would love them. But in LA, that's the worst plant. Okay, look at these windows. You could easily... You know, I'm not saying that this is just shows how poor he is. He's got those sliding glass windows, paper thin glass windows that you could just, it doesn't matter how good you lock your window, you could just kind of push the window in from the outside and move it over and climb right in, you know, into the apartment. Okay, another view of the atrium here. Oh my God, they shot. So there's Denny himself. Look at this, folks. We saw this from Denny's movie that he was in, where he had this famous line. Do you remember this?
Seth was an amazing guy and a big part of our lives.
Here's Denny himself. So they filmed this at Denny's building. You could see here's Denny out here in that courtyard wearing that baggy-ass suit. Really cool. Yeah, people in the chat are saying, this is insane. I would love a Scars Club t-shirt commemorating this very moment. Yeah, this is a cheap movie set. This is like Silence of the Lambs. Denny is living in Grand Theft Auto. Yeah. All right, guys, it's time for Mike's favorite part, the interior. Yes. Wow. Here is his, oh my God. ladies and gentlemen, Josh Denny's kitchenette. Everybody, look at this. Wow. And we've got some proof. So this is great. These are photos of the empty unit from Zillow or something. But this is the actual unit. Look at this little tiny kitchenette. This is something like if you were going to Wisconsin Dells for the weekend, you get a hotel over at, the Red Roof Inn, and you open it up and you're shocked to see that it has a kitchenette because you're used to hotels being in major cities that don't have room for kitchenettes. And you're in Wisconsin Dells where they have kitchenettes in hotels where they don't even advertise it. That's how much room they have. This is kind of what you would see at that Pine Oaks Lodge, $79 a night, Wisconsin Dells hotel suite. Now, I want to show you this. Luke, if you're listening, maybe you could help me out with this, or maybe it's right here. Hold on. Let me see this. Because we've got photos of Denny in his apartment. Yeah, here we go. Check this out. So you see this photo here. Now, check this out. Here it is all souped up. This is from Josh Denny's tweet, and he says, home office status complete. And this is a tweet from some time ago where he was bragging about his home office. But if you see, he's got this desk set up. Look at this. And remember, he was on the Gavin McKinnon show, and we saw his living room was right here, and his kitchen was right here. And we go, oh, here, we got another guy broadcasting out of the kitchen like Brian Redban. And that's exactly what we have here. In this little nook, right to the kitchen. His computer desk is butted up to the kitchen counter. It goes computer, blender, computer, blender, computer, blender. I mean, it's so wacky that it's something that I might put on my desk as joy as a fucking goof.
Can you imagine? Mix is going to get all over the screen.
I mean, I've never seen anything like this. You have your computer, you're working on your computer, and you could literally slide over an inch and make a smoothie while Netta watches a movie right here. We got a small place. We have a small, poor environment. And there you can see this is the kitchen. Here's that tile countertop, another sign that somebody is very, very poor. Now look at this. Here's the kitchen right off the office. Here's Josh Denny completely naked cooking at that range. Okay? You remember this picture that he posted himself on Instagram. There he is, completely naked, wearing only an apron, cooking at that very stovetop. And yes, that is a McDonald's logo tramp stamp tattoo over his ridiculously small Louis C.K. butt. This is all really, really happening.
Os.
Okay, yes, os. O-S-S. And I saw somebody write that in the Bring Back group, and boy, were we pleased. Is this a hair shooting out?
Oh my God.
That is fucking freaky!
Oh my God, you want me to fix it?
Yeah, can you? Can you get that back in the hat? Put the hair back in the hat. Thank you very much. Please get that in there. That is so disgusting. That's more disgusting than Josh Denny's apron string hanging right in the crack of his ass. All right, good. Thank you, Jules, for getting that out of the way. Could have ruined the whole show with that. So there it was, Josh Denny's proof that Josh Denny lives here. Let's go back to those Zillow posts, if you don't mind, and check out the digs here. Is Todd Detter just joining us right now? I hope not.
Yes, he just got here.
You just got here, Todd? Can somebody fill Todd in on everything he's missed? This is so big for Todd. I need Todd to know. Okay, so here is his kitchen. Look, another view of his kitchen. That's where he was standing nude. It used to be so clean. All right. Wow. And there it is. This is where the office was. So we just saw the picture. This is where that little desk was. This is where his computer was. Look at that space. Have you seen something so teeny tiny? Okay, and there it was with his computer. Yeah, look at that. Look how it transformed. What a beautiful place. You know, the desk isn't bad. He did a nice job using the space that he had, I'll tell you that. You know, nice job capitalizing on that space. Here's another room. And remember, Patrick Melton used to live here. You know, and of course, the landlord recarpeted and painted and fumigated and anti-bed buggened. Oh, is that it? Is that all the pictures we have? So there it is, Denny's current apartment. And why are we talking about this apartment if you're just tuning in? Because Josh Denny has launched a GoFundMe for $10,000. Again, if you're just tuning in, I want to repeat. Josh Denny has launched a GoFundMe for $10,000. He cannot afford his basic human needs. We just, to catch people up to speed, I saw Todd getting in here. I'm sure many people just waking up this morning, coming out to the bar. He has no job. His car, the only car him and his family of two share, was repossessed this week. He has no car, meaning Uber Eats, Uber, Lyft, it's gone. He has no job, not even rideshare. He's in immediate danger of being unable to meet his basic needs, pay his small bills, and pay his rent to avoid eviction. He hasn't been paying his rent all year, and that's where we last left off.
Now, I'm not one to hate on a woman without a job.
Sure.
But can't Netta get a job?
Yeah, why can't Netta get a job?
Like, what's wrong with her?
Yeah, seriously. That is a great question. You know, he's got a family of two. You've got Netta. What's she doing?
Now,
why can't she?
I'm all for relaxing and letting the guy take charge
Oh,
of the
yeah.
family.
But if the guy can't take charge,
somebody's got to do it.
Before doing the fundraiser, why can't Netta go get a job? Surely she's not in trouble for racist tweets. She hasn't been chased out of corporate America or the comedy industry. Why can't Netta get a job at Target? You know, they're not going to be doing...
She could be a waitress and make a lot of tips at like a scummy bar where guys love women with big tits.
She'd be perfect for Target. Can't you see her arranging something on a shelf there? So, yeah, this is utter nonsense here today, and a giant moment for the show, a giant moment in our Denny coverage. Let's continue here on the fourth paragraph. We're only on our fourth paragraph, and we've got a few more. And remember, we're up to 5 lies and 1 big lie. You can see our lie counter at the bottom of the screen here.
Now, you kind of got to think of Denny stuff as like a movie, like Under the Silver Lake, where there's tons of little codes and things to look at.
Yes.
Because every single line of this could be a lie. Like,
exactly.
That him and Ned are even still together.
Exactly.
Could be a lie.
All of this could just be that he's lazy and wants some cash, so he came up with a sob story. But it's equally pathetic.
Can I have a sip of that, by the way?
Yeah. Someone's asking, does Netta have big tits? You're damn right she's got big tits, Torm. Big, juicy whoppers. Here's the catch, though. The juice is like Baba Ganoush stuff inside, which I don't like. I don't know if you like that. Like a white yogurty. You don't want it, okay? Very Middle Eastern. All right, let's get to our fourth paragraph here. And let me know when you're done with that. Joy needs her beer. Thank you very much. Good. Got a big gulp. Isn't that refreshing this morning? A morning beer. Okay, here we go. Being in this situation and having to ask for help is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I've always been a proud, whoa, really? Independent, hardworking guy. And I've tried to pay forward the blessings I've received. I'm hoping that in our time of need, that good karma be returned. Oh! I'm like, I can't even contain myself, so I might be yelling out things that I haven't even thought through. Okay. Let's get to our lie counter here today. Being in this situation and having to ask for help is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I'm going to count that up to lie 6. Here. All right. We're up to 6 lies. I've always been a proud, independent, and hard-working guy. That's 1, 2, 3. Our lie counter is up to 9 now. 3 more lies there. We'll bump that up to 9. Here, I'll do them at the end of the paragraph. I'm hoping that in our time of need, that good karma might... Oh, wait. And I've always tried to pay forward the blessings I've received. we're going to count that as a big lie. Okay, so let me put 2 on the scoreboard there. And now we're up to 9 lies and 2 big lies within 4 paragraphs. Holy fuck. We currently need about $5,000 to reclaim our repossessed vehicle and an additional $5,000 to cover our immediate bill needs, which includes fees, insurance premiums, and our rent at the end of the month. Whoa! Can somebody do the fuzzy math on this one? Because this one's not really adding up for me here.
What kind of vehicle is this, by the way?
Well, I that one looks right. Okay, so yeah, I would love to know the make and model on his car.
Yeah, it's that Tonka truck, isn't it? No, that was wrong.
Long gone.
Oh,
Sold
shit.
and long gone. He used to have, when he was doing well in corporate America, he leased a Toyota, what do you call that? And I love this car. You know who has one? Anthony Guido. I actually really love this car. The Toyota, what was it called? People keep calling it the Hummer. You know, these stupid idiots. It ain't a Hummer. It's this beautiful Toyota. What do they call that thing? With the beautiful
called the
roof there.
I know exactly what it.
Yeah. Not Prius. No. FJ Cruiser.
Yes,
there
yes,
it is. He had, for maybe 2 months, he had an FJ Cruiser before he realized he couldn't afford the gas or the payments. You know, and we're going to see something similar with Brian Redban in about 6-7 months when he goes, I can't keep making these payments for my car. You know, people get it hot in their head. They go, it's only $600 a month. $600 a month. That's nothing. And then month 3 comes and they go, I'm like 2 months behind on these fucking payments. So Josh Denny had an FJ Cruiser. He's probably paying $699 a month for that thing based on his credit. And that thing was returned, probably repossessed too, within months. You know, so he does not have that car anymore. He's probably driving a nice economy vehicle, such as a basic stripped down Camry or what's it called? I don't even think he's got a Honda. I think he's a Toyota guy. Okay. So here we go. He needs $5,000 to get his car out of repo. That could be legit. Okay. And an additional $5,000 to cover our immediate bills, which includes blah, blah, blah. That's going to go very quick. I wonder how much his rent is. You know, couldn't be very much. $5,000 to cover rent. So maybe he's 2 months behind on this rent. I don't know about this. All right, let's go to this 5th paragraph here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraph. I know that we live in a time where very few of us have any extra to throw around. Believe me, I know that as much as anyone else. I also know after spending a few minutes on GoFundMe, there are many more deserving people out there with life-threatening problems that make ours look small. I'm trying to maintain that perspective. Okay, that is lie 10. Trying to maintain that perspective. I don't buy it. Lie 10 on the counter. We're up to 10 lies, 2 big lies. But at this point, we are out of options. And this is the only thing left to try. Okay, I'm going to count that as 2 more. We're up to 12 lies. Seth was a big part of our lives.
Seth was an amazing guy and a big part of our lives.
There we go. So we're up to 12 lies and 2 big lies here. Okay, you're definitely not out of options. You know, let's talk about that. How can you be out of options? How could this be your last hope? You know, think about all the things you'd have to actually do for this to be your very last hope. So what you're telling me here is you have no credit, bad credit. No credit, bad credit. You know what that means? He can't get a loan. He can't get a credit card. So he's even doing worse than we know of here. If this is your very last hope, oh, that's what it says here, our last hope, you mean you can't get a capital loan, you can't get any sort of loan, you don't have any more friends, you don't have any more family, you don't have...
Netta doesn't have any family.
Netta doesn't have any friends or family. She can't take out a credit card. You can't take out a credit card. There is absolutely zip, that you could do. So you're either lying or you have really fucked over every single possibility that life has to offer. So either way, you're a terrible guy. Can you believe it?
And he absolutely hasn't looked at every single job option. He looked at corporate positions and applied to 2.
I mean,
he hasn't tried.
Have you tried the gas station? Have you tried Starbucks? Have you tried, we said a great place for Josh Denny would be Trader Joe's. Can you imagine him there? Gabbing it up with the clientele, bagging the groceries on a Hawaiian shirt Fridays, riffing about the choice of nut clusters that the woman got, maybe even hitting on a couple bitches. He'd be perfect. So let's read the chat here. Let's see what people are saying. He says, Los Angeles cool guy, right around the corner from Josh Denny, by the way, says, you know what you need to get a loan? Proof of income! So no, Josh can't get a loan. Josh couldn't get a Sears card. But that's bad. That's very, very bad. Okay.
Yeah, even Bill Schultz knows you have to do night watch at the hotel
exactly
sometimes to make ends meet.
Bill Schultz looks like a stand-up, responsible guy compared to Denny at this point. Even Bill Schultz figured out a way to hustle. Denny has turned too lazy, too fat to hustle. And you know what's even crazier? He knows that this would be covered on Redbar in full. So he knows that, and that didn't even scare him off from doing this. So he's either that lazy or that in that bad a shape that he would go, I'm going to put myself through the most humiliating process that I'll ever go through. And I'll write this and I'll have everyone in my life who's ever known me read this. Gavin McInnes, all the people I've lied to this year will read this and go, what? This doesn't add up. Redbar is going to go over it with a fine-tooth comb and a pointer. So to put yourself through that kind of humiliation, you must be at rock bottom.
Ooh, we got some car details from Connor Basculus.
Really? We have some car details. I'd love to hear these. Are you sending them over?
Yep. Beautiful.
We have some details about the make and model, possibly, of the car Josh is driving. This comes from a post, looks to be on Facebook. This can't be true. January 23rd, 2018, Josh Denny reviewed the Land Rover Encino. What the? We just bought a Land Rover Discovery from here, the Land Rover Encino store.
You can't afford that.
And couldn't be happier with our purchase. The whole experience was great. Friendly, fast, informative, and low pressure. This is the first time buying a car that I really felt like the dealer did everything to get us the car we wanted at a great price. Go see Melvin and the team there. They'll hook you up. Jules, my phone!
Oh.
Get me the number for the Encino Land Rover dealership in Encino, California. And we're going to see if old Melvin is there to give us some details on Josh Denny's Land Rover. Okay? His Discovery that he claims he bought. Okay? This is a deep investigation. The New York News will not stand for fuckery or lies. And you know what this means.
Well, they're saying Gavin also has a Land Rover. So he
you know,
copied.
We got to get to the bottom of this. Here are my suspicions. He's either so stupid that he bought a Land Rover Discovery to do fucking Ubering, okay, which is the most ridiculous thing that you could ever do. I mean, everybody knows that a used Land Rover is constantly in the shop, and if you don't have that kind of money to throw at the problem, you know, they build these cars on purpose for people who have the money, and they've built in things that go faulty month to month because they know the customers have the money. They know they could throw it at this car month after month, and it's not going to be a big deal. You don't buy a Land Rover or the Range when you don't have any money. The car is going to go kaput. You also don't buy an SUV to Uber. I mean, you're spending twice the amount of money on gas, to hustle people around, making even less money than the $371 average that you would be getting. I mean, it's the most ridiculous purchase a guy like Josh Denny could ever make. Now, we have that Land Rover Discovery. Jules, are you working on the phone number there for Encino?
Yep.
Okay. We've got the Land Rover Discovery here, and there it is. I don't know what year he's got. There's no way he has this. This is way too nice. I mean, this is like how much? What's the MSRP on this thing? You know, there's no way. I thought he was going to have one of those old boxy Land Rovers from 1986, you know, that you could find on Craigslist for like $8,000 right now. This is crazy. You're telling me you spent about $70K on a car? All right, let's see what this is. Oh, okay. No, Jules, why do you say that? Come on. Let's try this right now, and we will call and find out what's happening with Josh Denny over at the...
Thank you for calling Land Rover Encino. This
There we
call
are.
may be monitored or recorded for quality purposes. For the service department, press 1. For sales, press 2. For the...
I know my man Melvin's not in the service department, bro.
Thank you for calling Land Rover Encino. This is David. How may I help you?
Yeah, is Melvin in by any chance?
Yeah, hold on a minute. Let me
Perfect.
transfer you to him.
Thank you so much. We got Melvin. We got Melvin. Here we go. We are on hold right now waiting for Melvin. And this is the guy that Josh Denny said that hooked him up. Go see Melvin and the team there. They'll hook you up. Let's see what happens here. We are waiting.
Hello?
Hey, Melvin.
Hang on a minute. Let me transfer you.
Oh,
Let me transfer you. Hold on a minute.
sure. I hate when they do that. Here we go.
Hey, we're calling Rover Encino. Melvin speaking.
Hey, Melvin. My name is Mark Davenport. I'm with the New York News. I'm doing a story on a guy who claims to have bought a vehicle from you back in January 2018.
Okay.
And his name is Josh Denny. He's a redheaded guy. He was the host of a Food Network series. You remember him?
Yep. I know who.
Oh.
I do know who he is. Yes,
Oh,
and
great.
he's with his girlfriend or wife. It was from. Yeah, I know who he's from.
Oh.
Philly originally.
Great.
I know
And
who he is.
did he pick up a Land Rover Discovery from you guys by any chance?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I'm black. I'm black.
What year was that? What year was the car, if you remember?
It was an 18. if I'm not
2018.
mistaken. It's an 18.
And what did that go for back then when he bought that in 2018?
To be 100% honest with you, I don't remember, but I know I gave him a smoking deal, though. I gave him a really smoking deal.
Ballpark price, whatever, what do you think there? Ballpark.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would have to look up his file. I mean, I sell.
I
about
mean,
like
come on. What does a
$10,000
Land Rover Discovery go for? 2008. What does it go for now? Yeah, come on.
A regular Discovery.
Yeah,
Oh,
Land-
okay, sorry. I thought you meant his.
Oh no,
They go anywhere from. They start anywhere from about 58,000 all the way up to 91,000.
Wow, there you go. So his might have been somewhere in the middle there, right?
It was in the middle. I know it was an HSC, and it had some goodies, but I can't even ballpark the car. I mean, the price of his car, because it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I do remember him.
Now,
but
do you
I
know?
don't remember, I don't remember the price of the car.
Do you know if he? We're doing this story on him today because he's launched a GoFundMe fundraiser asking for $10,000, claiming his car was repossessed today. He did not have the money to pay for it. It was taken from him. We're trying to find out if this story adds up here, and if it was the Land Rover Discovery that was taken from him, or if he had traded that in beforehand and picked up a new whip, a new hoopty by then. So, do you know anything about that? Do you know if he still owns the vehicle or?
To be honest with you, I don't know anything about
Okay.
nothing. I know he had. but I think that's not his car. I mean, because I think it's last time I remember the car's under his girlfriend's name or his friend or some girl that came here.
Oh,
it's not
wow.
under his name.
Oh, it wasn't under his name. Okay. Wow, that really makes a lot of sense now. And do you remember how much money they put down on this car?
No, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't remember how much he put down. It wasn't much, though. I'll be honest with you, it wasn't much.
Could you tell us anything about his personality? Was there anything that you found off about the guy when you saw him?
No, he was a cool guy.
Cool guy.
Really cool guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's what we thought too.
Really
That's what.
Cool guy. East Coaster. I'm an East Coaster myself, so I mean, I'm finding this really strange, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Oh my
no,
God.
it is strange. And if you want to check this out, you could go on GoFundMe.com and type in Josh Denny in the search. You'll find his GoFundMe. He's looking for $10,000. Maybe you could help him out because he's in a lot of trouble right now. And like I said, this is a big national story.
Really? I mean, what the heck did he get into?
A lot of stuff, a lot of racist stuff with the alt-right and some racist tweets that got him in the news. He was on TMZ for some racist tweets.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm a Hispanic, and he treated me good.
Yeah, it was probably, people have found that he was doing a lot of tricks and treating a lot of racists nice when, deep down there was a lot of hatred there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
See, that girl in his picture, that's his girlfriend. Her name is, she's from the East Coast like me. Her name is Menny or something like that.
Yeah, Netta is her name. Netta Gaby. Yeah.
Netta. There you go. See?
Yeah.
I remember. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
He loses his job related to career stand-up comedy. Oh, my God. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's really unfortunate here, and we're trying to get the full story here. We always do these here at the NNN. We try to fact-check everything before releasing the story, of course, and we just wanted to go through this little GoFundMe with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that everything adds up before we go to print today. So
No, for sure. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I really, really appreciate the help, and I'm not going to name you by name. I don't think we need that, but I really appreciate this. And if you ever can think of any more details about this guy or his finances, give me a ring, and we'll make sure that we get you sorted out real good, hooked up real good for your help here.
All right, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Melvin.
All right, man. Take care.
Holy fuck! Is this not the coolest little show you've ever fucking seen in your life? Wow! I'm in a what is it called when I can't even talk right now. I'm overwhelmed. I'm verklempt. I'm overwhelmed with emotion that I really can't think. I really can't put my thoughts together right now. You know what? Let's do that shot together. What do you guys say? Shot with each other?
Give me a sip of the beer.
Wait, I need that for my chaser
okay,
verse.
okay.
Here we go. Let's drink to Melvin and everything he said to me. Here we go.
Oh, Melvin. When he was reading the GoFundMe page going, oh my God.
This is just, seriously. Yes, bliss. So Denny ruined Netta's credit is what we found out. Now, man, Melvin, what are you thinking? Why wouldn't you say, you know what? It's not really
matter.
Yeah, it's not really what would you say? It's not really appropriate for me to give out any information
And
here.
it's like you said you're from the news. And
The
you're
New
gonna
York
print
News.
this.
Yeah. And Melvin just kept talking, man. And he gave us those chunks. Whew. Let's take a moment, guys.
Sweet guy. Everyone go to the Encino Land Rover and buy a car from Melvin. He rules.
Melvin's a great guy. He's actually a nice salesman, but he's going to give away all your financial information to anyone, which is really horrendous. But let's not blame Melvin for that. So let's talk about this, though. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that Denny, And somebody made a great point. They go, wow, January 2018, I think that was around the time Denny's ginormous food deal kicked in. Now, Denny has no credit in 2018. We did not know that. So Denny fucked up his career long before, or Denny fucked up his financial life long before his mean tweets or his tweets that kicked him out of corporate America and all the blah, blah, blah that he claims. So his credit was fucked long before all these problems that he's saying that he has now. And the asshole gets this gig on ginormous food, a gig that he knows could be taken from him at any day. Barely getting paid. I mean, he talked about it with Gavin, saying he barely, he didn't make anything. I think he was getting maybe $2,000 an episode, tops. After taxes, after all that, not much money there. So he convinces Netta that he's a big time star and convinces her to take out a loan for a $70,000 car.
That's crazy.
That is so fucking mean. So he sits there, and I bet you he talked to her off going, hey, I got this job here. Listen. She's like, I don't know, Josh. It's a lot of money. Hey, I'm going to be making a lot of money in the entertainment world. You see, I got this gig. And she's like, I don't know. This could really fuck me if we don't make the payments. And he promised her the world, didn't he?
I mean, you could have gotten a $40,000 car.
You could have gotten any $20,000. I mean, really, you could have bought this Land Rover used. To buy a $70,000 car when you don't have any money is fucking bananas. So he put himself in this situation. Is he telling people that? I went out and I forced my girlfriend to buy a $70,000 vehicle. We didn't have the money. Now we're fucked. We should bail him out of that? Why? Why should we bail him out of that? So he fucked her credit. Her credit's kaput. Okay?
It's just too much to think about. My mind
yeah,
is spinning.
And someone says it best here, a $5,000 car is good enough for Uber Eats. Really, you can go on Craigslist and get a decent car for $8,000.
I mean, you might be able to get a Land Rover that's a few years old for like $15,000.
Exactly. Really. Like you could go on there and get like a
so
2007 Land Rover for like $12,000 in great shape. Okay. Yeah, they devalue.
Unless you're really financially secure.
Cars devalue so fast that if you're not fucking rich, you're almost a complete fucking moron for buying a new one.
The only reason to have a brand new one is if you're getting a new lease every year.
Exactly.
And you're rich.
I mean, it's so crazy. You might as well just light your money on fire. You got to be such a show off in your car. Thank God we live in these big cities where we don't need to be in that ball game. Okay, that monthly payment had to be $600 or $700 easy. Remember, Melvin, my boy Melvin, told us that they barely put any money down. And you know how I knew that call would go so well? Because Melvin sells cars. These guys are sharp. Really, they could remember everything. You can go to a salesperson, they'll remember a client from 15 years ago. Really, that's what salespeople do. Salespeople are memory-ticians. They remember everything. That's how they do their job.
I used to work at Lexus, and the salespeople knew everything about you. They remember where you went for vacation last year.
Oh, yeah, that's a big part of their job. So I knew calling them that Melvin would be, boom, quick on his feet. He knew that guy right away. He knew his girlfriend right away. These guys are sharp. These car salesmen, they could be anything they want to be. They really could. They don't know the potential that they have. They could be lawyers. They could be doctors. The way that they can memorize and call back better than anybody. So to Melvin, we thank you. Yes, Melvin is one of us now. All right. So are we good on the car situation?
Yeah.
This is serious.
There's so much more to get to, too.
Yeah. Wow, there really is. Guys, we are real journalists here. This is a real journal. This is the real news. I got to calm down. I'm making a fucking fool of myself today. I'm too happy. I'm just too happy. Okay. Somebody says, whoa, he's reposting on Twitter so that it's at the top of feeds. Okay, let's see. That sale was a huge win for Melvin. He's deleting. What's going on, guys?
Okay, if you wanted to go into this now, he tweeted about this. There was 1 million replies saying, if you tweet or say publicly Mike David was right, we'll give you $100 to the GoFundMe. And I think he got spooked by all those replies and deleted the tweet and reposted it.
Oh, my
I have
God.
screenshots
Okay.
of all the replies.
Beautiful. Send those over. So, unbeknownst to me, while I was doing my thing, while I was being an investigative reporter here today, talking to all of you, people were replying to Josh Denny's tweet about this fundraiser saying, if you admit.
I'll send you the screenshot.
Okay, yeah, I can't wait to see. And it appears he has deleted that tweet to erase the bad memories. You know, I've seen this practice a lot recently where people will do this. They'll get a lot of bad comments on a post. So what they do is they delete the whole post and just repost. And they'll claim, oh, it was some kind of goofy accident. Here, let's look at this. Wow, look at this. Our last hope.
So that was the tweet. We already
So
know
here's
that
the
part.
tweet. He tweeted about it. And then let's look at some of these replies that came in this morning. Oh, wow. Here, the first one. If you publicly say, Mike David has been right about everything, I'll throw you $50. You know you need it. Okay, look at that. Somebody else says, wait, how are you still married? Shout outs. Here, let's read some more. Torm Delgado, look at this. Torm Delgado up in the replies. Hey, man, sorry about the hard times. I'm ready to donate $100, but first, would you mind admitting that you're a compulsive liar? Jay Rose, my nigga Jay Rose up in the replies. Look at this. So you want me to pay your bills because you couldn't get a job working minimum wage? Save GoFundMe for the people that really need it. Not a failed, racist, lying comedian that just can't bag groceries for a paycheck. There's nothing wrong with you physically. Shout out! I've never seen Jay Rose this mad. Never, ever, ever. I've never seen Jay Rose this sharp. Never, ever, ever. So something's up if Jay Rose is flying to Twitter. Okay. And then we got another one from Pickamel. Pickamel says, I'm willing to donate 100 right now. All I need is a tweet saying Mike was right. Once I see that tweet, I give you my word, I'll donate $100. Folks, this is a moment to remember. I want everyone to look around and take some pictures with your eyes. Do that thing where you blink and take a little photo.
Like at Jim and Pam's wedding on The Office where they go,
Oh,
click.
did they do that? Yikes.
Also refresh the GoFundMe page. He's decided to do a last minute name change.
Oh, I hope he didn't change anything in the text here.
Oh,
I hope he didn't change anything in the text, because I had that original GoFundMe. Okay, I have refreshed the GoFundMe. If anyone has a screenshot of the old GoFundMe, send that in.
Some people took it.
Oh, yeah. He changed it. He changed the name of the GoFundMe to A Hail Mary, Josh Denny Needs Your Help. He changed it from Our Last Hope to Josh Denny Needs Your Help. Now, I hate to say it, he's fooled some people, man.
He's got a lot of cash coming in.
But it's a good thing that we have these people's names. Maybe we could fill them in on the lies here today. Maybe we could send these people this episode. We're not making anything up here today. We're just telling the honest to God's truth. But 11 people in the last 3 hours have donated a grand total of $820 to Josh Denny. He's fooled 11 people. We've got, let's see who the highest, wow, Brian Hund, and these are all public. This is all public information, folks. Brian Hund, H-U-N-D, 33 minutes ago, donated $350 to Josh Denny's disgusting attempt at getting his life back on track. And I was going to talk about this. $10,000 ain't going to get your life back on track. It's not. $10,000 is such a little amount of money these days. I think we spent $10,000 last month on Uber Eats.
Seriously?
I've donated more to Josh's company than anybody. I've spent $10,000 on McDonald's double hamburgers alone this month.
Michael is upon us.
Well, this is true. $10,000 ain't nothing anymore. I remember years ago, my uncle, bless his heart, died. He had no money, but he gave me in the will. It was a surprise to us. We had no idea. 3 months later, I get this call from my dad. Your uncle left you $6,000. You know, and this was years ago. And I was like, holy fuck, this is amazing. I get 6,000 free. I couldn't believe it. Literally in 2 weeks, that was completely
2
gone.
weeks?
Oh, yeah. And I had
That's a long time,
nothing.
I was going to say.
I had nothing to show for it.
That would only take me like 2 days.
Yeah. Nothing. And that was when, you know, this was really early on. I really realized, you know, $6,000 is nothing. $10,000 is really, really nothing. You know, I look back and I see, yeah, it's not that much stuff. I always go by the rule of $100. You know, $100 is only 10 things that cost $10. $1,000 is, you know, you could do the math. I can't really do that math right now, but.
Sorry, I hate to interrupt you.
Sure.
There's so much exciting stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
I just
no,
gotta send you a-
please interrupt all you want. We're here. This is a full hang, folks.
Say, click the beautiful link I sent
Okay,
you.
I love this. Jules, I am excited. You want to get married?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's renew our vows today.
Yes. Let's renew our vows live on the show today.
Oh my goodness,
because of Josh
yes.
Denny. Seriously. Jules, dearly departed, do you take my hand in marriage?
I do.
Yes! Remember this. This just happened. Jules and I renewed our vows today to celebrate Josh. Who's ever done that? To celebrate Josh Denny's worst day.
Love you.
Call up that judge, they're saying.
Okay, scroll
right.
down to the bottom.
Scroll
Do some
down to the bottom. I
scrolling.
can't wait to see
Keep
this.
going.
Okay, let's see. Oh my God, look at all this stuff. Oh my God, wait. This is so funny. Look at this picture. Okay, we'll go over the pictures later. Look at this. Oh my God, they're making all these signs. Holy
Okay.
fuck. Okay.
Up there, that highlighted
This?
one from Daniel Fritz. Right on it. No.
Okay, this.
Yes,
Really? This one.
Daniel Fritz.
Daniel Fritz, and this is great because Daniel Fritz used to be a part-time co-host for Nobody Likes Onions. When we, and I love Daniel Fritz. Daniel Fritz, drummer, good drummer. I love to see that he's still around. Seriously. He was a part-time co-host on Nobody Likes Onions. Hung around with Josh Denny and Patrick Melton in the studio many times. And once we did our year's worth of Melton discovery, some of you know it as Melton Watch, yes, he came around like all Nobody Likes Onions listeners. You know, they said, this Mike, he's right. And you know what? This Mike treats me a little better than this Patrick. I'm going to come over to Mike. And he's still here to this day. And Daniel Fritz has something to add to this big day here with Josh Denny. And he says, looks like Josh Denny kept my phone number for marketing purposes. Wow. Okay, I
know.
I haven't even read this. So Daniel Fritz, who left Nobody Likes Onions month 1 of Melton Watch, came over to Redbar, has been a loyalist over here, has been a good friend of the bar ever since. He's given us some sweet information. He's giving us another piece of gold. He says, Josh Denny kept my phone number for marketing purposes. This coming in right now. A text message to Daniel Fritz. Hi, I'd really appreciate it if you would share and donate to my GoFundMe campaign, Our Last Hope. Please read. Every little bit helps. Thank you in advance. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just discovered that Josh Denny is spamming everyone in his phone contacts in hopes to withdraw money from their bank account! This is insane.
Too much. It's like too much.
He hasn't talked to this guy. Is Daniel Fritz here right now? When's the last time you saw Denny? When's the last time you saw this guy? So Denny's going all out. Denny's going all out, and he doesn't give a fuck. No shame. Imagine receiving that text. Somebody says, how does this keep getting better? And if you're in our chat room today, L'chaim, you're having the best day of your life. Our chat is going, stocks are up. This is the lowest I've ever seen a man go, says Ashley Butterfield. Fucking better. Beggar, says Keto Flu. I love that name. Lukey Boy says, this is why he's getting so many donations. Remember, he's only gotten 11, and he's reaching out to hundreds of people. He's only gotten 11, so we're okay. You know, he's gotten some big donors here today. Mazel tov, people are saying. What a bum. D. Fritz has lived in a different state for years. He hasn't seen Denny in probably 5 years, they're saying.
It's incredible.
Dean Carl Fritz has to go today. I'm sorry. Got to learn a lesson here. Not today. Sven from Europe, we will remember this day for the rest of our lives. Guys, this is amazing. And we're going to go through, Jules, go through this Facebook post because there could be many more things in here coming in. We haven't even gotten through Josh Denny's
exactly.
GoFundMe. Should we get back to the GoFundMe?
Yeah.
Or the GoFundMe? Yes. Because we're having so much what? Fun! I'm going to go back to that last paragraph, okay? I know that we live in a time where very few of us have any extra to throw around. Believe you me, I know that as much as anyone. I also know after spending a few minutes on GoFundMe, there are many more deserving people out there with life-threatening problems that make ours look small. I'm trying to maintain that perspective, but at this point, we're out of options, and this is the only thing left to try. If I've ever made you laugh, here's the new part. If I've ever made you laugh from the stage, entertained you on TV by stuffing my face full of ginormous food, copyright, or mentored you through your professional career in retail, this is the time I need you most. Ah! Okay, listen to this. If I've ever entertained you on TV by stuffing my face full of ginormous food, or mentored you through your professional career in retail, this is the time I need you most. Have you... I'm running out of fucking screens. Have you ever seen something this vile? Talk about the Vile Files with Nick Vile. This is fucking disgusting. Los Angeles cool guy back in the chat, he says, I find this begging sickening. He's shameless. What a pathetic loser. What kind of man are we witnessing here, they're saying? This is getting offensive. I hope Denny falls. I'm not going to say that. Falls. Well, I don't know. Stumbles. Where is this man's parents? You know, has he screwed over his parents? Mentoring, big lie. You got that right. With a big lie counter, I'm going to jump this up to 5, just for the hell of it, because there certainly has been many more. And I'm going to jump the regular lie counter up to 14. I don't think anybody's going to judge me for it. They're going to go, absolutely, Mike. You could put that thing up to 1,000 right now, and we'd say it's accurate.
This is like so much emotion. It's scaring me.
I know.
Imagine. I can't. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we're going to have to rent an Airbnb this weekend and take some time off. You want to go to the beach after this and just get a load off? All right, we're going to take you out after this, Jules, okay? Renew our vows, celebrate our honeymoon right after this.
Mazel tov,
yeah, we
baby.
need a rest. Yeah. I'm going to break the glass again. I would never ask my family for money, let alone strangers. Somebody says, well, I would. You know, I don't feel bad. My parents pay for everything here. The studio, my house, Jules and I. And, you know, I say, fuck them. You know, they sent me to that boarding school. Fuck them. They could pay for me the rest of their lives. Okay, he should have become homeless in silence. Hamburger weekend. Someone says, I like the sound of that. Jules, have you ever had a 100 stack?
Yeah, do you guys think that me and Mike should start a one bite pizza review style show called Hamburger Weekend?
Hamburger heaven.
Well, we go out. I like Hamburger Weekend.
I like that. Mike David's Hamburger Weekend, Hamburger Heaven. And it's where we go to a different hamburger shop every day of the week, and I take one bite of a hamburger, and I tell you how. You know what? We're doing it. That's it. It's happening.
I think we should do it.
One bite hamburgers, you know the rules. 1 out of 10, one bite, everybody knows the rules.
We've literally watched like 400 pizza reviews in the last few days. I don't know why.
Somebody says we should call the show Kids Hamburger.
Yeah, I forgot about Kids Hamburger.
Yeah. Would you guys like that if I went all over the country reviewing hamburgers on YouTube? Would that be something everyone would be on board with?
You take one bite of the burger and then throw it at someone on the street.
Would people really... Oh, Todd says, I would actually really enjoy that burger show. Everyone knows the jewels. Burger Tour 2020. Dav Portnoy. I don't know what that is.
That's the guy from the Barstool.
My wife is having our firstborn, and it's the ultrasound appointment today. Is it sad that I don't want to leave because Denny stuff is so joyous? Do not go. Your wife could have a baby any 9 months of the year. This only happens once. Yeah, congrats, man. Hey,
name it Mike.
Yeah, name it Mike. Joy's Burgers. I would watch, of course, just hamburger buns. Not much support for my hamburger show. Would you guys keep paying for Scars Club if I canceled Redbar and only just reviewed hamburgers?
I doubt it.
Okay. Should we go back to the big story? Yes. I will make Mike a burger. He'd review it, but then all other burgers would be ruined for him, so it's a catch-22. I love that. That's fucking... You're a, hard-ass guy. I wish I had a baby born on this day. People are saying, name it Denny. That's great. If the burger sucks, spike it in front of the burger people. Pretty fucking cool. The baby won't remember you. You will remember this. Get your priorities straight, says somebody to the guy having the baby today, or the ultrasound. I would pay more for the hamburger show, someone says. I would pay more for the hamburger show, 2 people said. Red Burger Radio. If you add beer to the review, I'm game. Check this out. 1 sip, beer reviews. Miller Lite, 1 sip. Everyone knows the rules. I'm going to give it a 6.7. What's next from Josh Denny? He's on one hell of a spree. Yes, we're going to get back to that as soon as Jules gets back from the bathroom. She's delivering a baby into the toilet. Mike goes to every hamburger shop and orders hamburgers with no sauce or cheese or toppings. That's not true. Can you do Chinese eyes? Yes. Mike's show has burgers and beers now. Whoa, that's pretty fucking cool, actually. That's pretty ironic. Just throw the burgers. Don't even bite. No, that's cruel. Are you back?
Yep, sorry.
All right, we are doing this epic show today where we're going over Josh Denny's exciting new, surprising GoFundMe. We're having one of the best days I think we've had all year. And what episode is this, by the way? Because I want to remember the episode number.
93.
93. Remember that? I might get that number tattooed on my neck. 93. And people
Bigger
go...
than the Jules tat.
What's 93? Oh, yeah, I might cover up the Jules tat with the 93.
Oh, no.
Yeah, 93. Put that number down, too. This could be our lucky number. You want to bet on some lotto numbers this week? Is that how it works?
You can probably find a lot of connections to 93, like people find 9/11 stuff.
Exactly.
Like if you look back in Redbar lore.
So remember that number today, 93. Okay. Let's continue with Denny's plea for 10K, which it will not hit 10K. If it does, I'm closing down Redbar. You will never see me again.
That.
Nope, I am.
It could hit.
Yeah, well, here we go. Jules, it was just a joke. Here we go. If I've ever made you laugh from the stage, entertained you on TV by stuffing my face full of ginormous food, or mentored you through your professional career in retail, this is the time I need you most. Even if you can't help financially, know that I understand. And sharing our story with friends, family via social media is just as helpful. Wow. What a manipulative little red-bearded twat! I've experienced incredibly high highs in my career. Whoa. Okay, this is what he's saying. I've experienced incredibly high highs in my career. What did I say at the beginning of this episode? He's experienced high highs and low lows. I hadn't even read this. I've experienced incredibly high highs in my career and life so far. And unfortunately for us in this moment, they've been followed by some very low lows. I predicted that he was going to say this. All we're asking for at this moment is a little help to get our heads back above water. Thank you for reading this And God bless. He really throws that in. He thinks he's a nice guy now. Thank you for reading this. And God bless.
That's
God
like you
bless.
believe in God now.
Big lie 6. God bless, please. Can you believe what he's saying to us right now? Important note. Please do not send any donations via Venmo, as that account is tied to a closed account and funds cannot be accessed. Thanks. So he's already fucked over Venmo. What kind of schemes could he have been doing where he's been banned from Venmo? I don't use Venmo. I don't know how it works. So was he doing something sneaky on Venmo and they banned him for life? Look at this. Please do not send any donations via Venmo. That account is tied to a closed account and funds cannot be accessed, meaning he fucked up somewhere along the way and they said, we're putting your account on hold. Frozen accounts. Yes, you got it right. In the chat, they're saying frozen accounts. That's bad. God bless. Good karma asking for money. Is he a cult leader now? People are saying. He was making Uber passengers pay him via Venmo on the down low. People are saying, wow. I've been listening since 2009, and this might be the best episode ever. Shout out to you. That's from Slime Softly. He's so far away from having lawyer money, says Todd World Peace. And isn't that a great point to remember here?
Yeah, I almost
at
forgot
the end
about
of this.
that.
You know, there is no lawyer in town that wouldn't take his case for at least $15,000 retainer, you know, especially in the city of Los Angeles. He has no lawyer. We've already looked this up. Here's Xander. He takes people's phones that they leave on the tables and Venmos himself. Whoa, what a vibe. This guy is like Denny. He's got all sorts of chaos taking place in his personal life. Oh, no, this guy's just like Melton. Yeah. This Nibba doesn't even have a bank account. Yeah. This date is officially a Denny Day, a national holiday. Yes, put that on your calendars. Put it on your calendars as a reminder for next year, and we'll actually celebrate this day. What's the date? The 10th?
Yep.
This is better
May
than when
10th.
Louis C.K. was canceled for jacking.
That seems like nothing.
Yeah,
now.
nothing. And I popped a $300 bottle of champagne on that day. This is Friday the 10th. Friday the 10th of May. Remember this day. And what a beautiful, nice, even number there. The 10th of May. And we will celebrate the 10th of May for the next 5 years. Okay? Denny Day, May 10th, 5/10/19. Where were you on 5/10/19?
Seems like it needs a hat with that embroidered on
I
it.
know, it's so beautiful. Yeah, we might have merch out. On your way out, you might see merch. May 10th, 2019, Redbar's D-Day. Yeah, for Denny. That's so beautiful. Look how that works. All right, so let's read some questions from the audience here. Good-natured fan asks, so if he doesn't raise the 10K, will he lose his apartment and his car? Wow, that's really interesting. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, he needs to actually raise this money or the car is gone. Now, what's so great about this fundraiser, and here's why I need your help here. Let me know how this works. Is he getting this money as it comes in, or does he have to wait till it's fulfilled and then get a payout? Does he get a payout every 3 days? Let me know, because so far, you know, I'm going to refresh this page right now. He's raised $820. It's a lot. No. He won't lose. Oh, okay. This isn't the same as Kickstarter. Now, Kickstarter is the only platform where if you don't make your goal, you get nothing. This one, you keep it all. So if he makes only $820, he gets to keep that $820. What I want to know is, yes, Xander, how soon can he access these funds? How soon do they go direct into...
Properly setting up your withdrawals can take some time. It's important to plan ahead to get this process started as soon as possible to avoid any issues.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. You or your beneficiary must make your first withdrawal within 30 days of receiving your first donation, or your GoFundMe will accept.
Okay.
It seems like 90 days.
Well, no,
I
it
don't
doesn't
know.
take 90 days. I'm wondering, does it get deposited every 3 business days? They're just saying on their jewels that if you don't
Yeah.
take your money, that it'll be forfeited. I don't know. Look at this. It's important to remember, Todd says he mentioned during his last podcast, or the Gavin podcast, that the next $10,000 he makes is already spoken for. So he's had that 10K number on his mind for some time. Wow. Interesting. That podcast was recorded almost a month ago now. So he needed that 10K last month.
So the car and the rent might be a lie.
It could be. Once your GoFundMe starts receiving online donations, you could easily request a withdrawal at any time. Perfect. That's what I want. So there it is, Karen Cancer. He's right up my alley right now. 820 will buy him 10 Battleship Manasses. Here's what's happening, and here's what's going to happen. Josh Denny sees 820 coming in on day one. He's convinced Netta that 10K will be in by next week. He is convinced himself that he is on pace to not only get that 10K, but he's had a conversation with Netta that goes like this. Netta, we've raised 820 in 3 hours. We're going to hit that 10K goal within a week. And let me remind you, they could keep donating more. This could reach $100,000. You've seen it happen before on GoFundMe. We could be rich. So the 820 he withdrawals today, right? He's broke as a joke. He probably don't even have enough money for a couple charbroiled double hamburgers from BK. He's withdrawing that 820 today, and that is going to food. He's probably buying himself a new shirt. He's going to eat through that 820, and then next Monday comes along, and there's no more donations coming in. And now that 820 has been eaten up by salamis and such, and no more money's coming in. You know, believe me, he ain't hitting no 10K. All right? I've been around for a couple days or two, and he ain't hitting no 10K. All right? Man, Redbar is my favorite time of the week, someone says, and I agree.
Same.
And Los Angeles Cool Guy makes an amazing point here. It's a point so sharp. I used it to perform surgery on Jules to give her breast implants. The point is so sharp, he says, he can never go back to this well. Exactly. You can't ask for $10,000 again. So this either works this week or it never works at all. And that's it. Because now you've exhausted every means of a bailout and exhausted the public. And you could never do this again. And what do you think's going to happen? That he's going to save himself here? I mean, please, let me tell you a little something about the history of Josh Denny. He's had many fundraisers. How many of those fundraisers have worked out? The answer, 0! Okay? A circle as round as my cheeks. 0! You see these little fuckers? 2 little zeros. Like Simon Mellon's butt cheeks. Little apples. Now, his Kickstarters never worked. He had a Kickstarter once. Help me make a vinyl album out of my comedy special, Social Hand Grenades. I need $7,000 to make a vinyl album. No one donated. Kickstarter was closed. We predicted that one. His next Kickstarter was help me raise money to perform a stand-up special. No one donated. Kickstarter was closed. We predicted it. And now here, I'm sure there were many in between. You know, he might even have other ones under different names. Who the fuck knows? You know what I mean? It's not like you have to write Josh Denny or put a picture up. Can he have a Kickstarter that's just like, I'm a guy who has cancer, please help me, and then post it in a bunch of weird forums and groups? I mean, couldn't you do that?
I think that you get in big trouble if they find out that it's a lie. But
he don't care about Big Trouble. You think he cares about Big Trouble? Look at him. So the 820, you know, this is something we're going to be refreshing.
I gotta say, it's kind of funny that he was able to only get 2 Patreons offering his content, but now that he's offering nothing, people are like, oh, fine.
Well,
they weren't willing to pay for his show.
You know, this is a sob story like no other. And remember, he sent this out to his phone book. You know, he's sitting at 2 patrons. I got to break it to you. It did go up to 3 patrons today. But he's been sitting at 2 patrons for, you guys know this, years. You know, he sent this out to everyone in his phone book We already know that he did that this morning thanks to Dan Fritz. So that means every motherfucker he knows about this. Now, what scares me here is I see a little thing on the bottom of this fundraiser that says 293 shares on Facebook. So what does this mean? Has Josh Denny been spamming random Facebook groups all morning with this 293 times? There's no way people saw this. I mean, only 11 people have donated. That is nothing when you have exhausted your phone book, your Twitter that has more than, let me remind you, he has 110,000 Twitter followers. 11 have donated. He probably has at least, everybody's got a couple hundred contacts in their phone. I mean, if he's sending one to D. Fritz, a guy that hates him, who is he not sending this to? And the people have spoken. 11 people have opened their wallets to him. That is not a big number. He's had 293 shares on Facebook. 11 is not a big number. Let's read some of the comments here today. Of course, my man, Todd Detter, with the first top comment. First! Todd Detter's profile picture from Facebook is beautiful. It's of our newest friend and Josh's newest friend as well, Warts. You guys know my nigger Warts? This is WAUOGHRTZ. New spelling. Warts. Warts was the host of that podcast that Josh was on the other day where, we lied through his teeth. We call him Warts because he had a couple of globs hanging off the side of his face there. Check Facebook, please, they're saying. What's going on here?
He said check Facebook PIs. I think he means to check if Denny's been posting it.
Got it. Here's another one from Michael. Look at this. 24 minutes ago, this was posted on Josh Denny's public GoFundMe page. The car Josh is looking to reclaim is a Land Rover Discovery, as evidenced here. Do not donate to a person who is financially irresponsible. And look at this. He posts a picture of Josh Denny's Land Rover Discovery that he bought from Melvin at the Land Rover in Encino, California for $70,000. What a vibe! Warts. Warts was cucked by Denny. Hogwarts. I like this. Look at the spelling of Warts. WHOAURGHTZ. Could you get any more laughs out of that? Perfect. That's from Sailor Twift. He added a couple more letters rearranged, but I like that spelling. Warts. He posted it to his official fan page on Facebook. What a great call out. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. I don't know who this guy is, but this guy, Michael, I see him in the Big
Michael from the BBG.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, like, he's got a fake picture, so I don't know who he is, but he's been, what I wanted to say, he's been fantastic lately.
He's an amazing guy.
And he was the guy who posted this whole fundraiser to us this morning, bringing you this phenomenal episode of Redbar today. I think we should pitch in and do something nice for Michael, maybe even do something nice for Todd. If we could all throw in something, maybe get these guys a dinner.
Xander deserves a dinner, to be honest.
Get a dinner for these guys. Seriously, why don't we, somebody, and don't do it with me because I'll be accused of some sort of scheme, but somebody put together a little account, collect some money. I bet everyone would throw in $5 for these guys today and get them a nice dinner each.
Why not? Let's start a GoFundMe.
Well, I don't know if they need that, but somebody devised that. These guys deserve something, and it ain't coming out of my pocket. Because that's payola. But I believe that, these guys really deserve it. They're putting in, more work than I am at this point, finding all this stuff for us on a daily basis. And they really, really deserve something nice this year. There's a bonus, a yearly bonus for what they've contributed here. And they ask for nothing. They're not doing this for pay. But great guys, and I want everyone to
throw
know.
a giant party.
A giant party, giant party where we all get to eat as much as we want. Yeah, can you imagine that? Invite them for Sven's August week, someone says. Deck party at Xander's. You're all invited.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, I'll show up to that. Armed. I love how Denny doesn't have a good photo with Netta. He had to crop out a guy. You know, what a great point. Let's go to the top there. I was suspicious of this. When I first saw this photo that he's used for his GoFundMe, let's talk about it. It's an old photo of him and Netta, both them smiling. And yeah, it's a crop job. You know, he had to crop out a guy there. You could tell it's been zoomed and cropped. The resolution is a little fuzzy there. And I am thinking, why is that the only photo that they had? And what is he trying to, what message is he trying to put out there with this photo? You know, does he think this photo, it looks like they're two good guys that are down on their luck there at the PAX by Plume event there that he was so bragging about? Who was the guy? I want to know who was cropped out here. I'd like to reach out to him. Wait, we have another photo here. Let's see what this is. Oh, the Range Rover Encino. Okay, the screenshot. Wow. So if you go on here, if somebody's like, hey, I want to see what other photos of him and his girlfriend, you click here and you go, we just bought a Land Rover, the car, Josh. Oh, my God. So it's the whole post there. Josh will delete that. You know that's going to be deleted. But keep going. We've got more. Brian Hund. Now, this is interesting. Brian Hund is up here. Brian Hund is the big donor. 1 hour ago, Brian Hund opened his checking account and said, you know what, Denny? Here's $350.
You should also check out the guy who donated $200.
Yeah. But Brian Hund is down here. And Brian Hund says this in a comment. He goes, from the Megan Jenkins show. Now, what does this mean? Brian Hund donated $350, and his comment here today is from the Megan Jenkins show. Let's investigate that and see what that's about. Now, here's Jake. Jake comments, this was unfunny. Get a job. Wow. And
if you
then
search the Megan Jenkins show, Apple Podcast review comes up as the first result that says, this show is really bad, probably the worst podcast on iTunes.
Yeah. But I wonder what this means. Brian Hund, is he the host from the Megan Jenkins show?
You'd think Megan Jenkins would be the host.
Yeah. So, and then finally, the last comment from 2 hours ago, this is from a guy named Denny. And he says, this is the most pathetic thing on the internet. Unreal. And it's got 6 likes. Can people like things? You can like comments without having to donate. So go in here, go to the GoFundMe. Jules, why don't you post this in the chat? And let's like all these ones that expose the truth here today. Okay, give them a like, show your support. Wouldn't it be great if GoFundMe, after you get 10 likes on a post, they lock it so it can't be deleted, showing that the people have the power? So there it is, Josh Denny's Hail Mary name change. Josh Denny needs your help. We're up to 820. Now
he did a March of the Pigs podcast with the Megan Jenkins show once a year ago.
Oh, okay. So this guy thinks, hey, I could, this guy's still in the biz. And you know what? I'll throw some cash here. You know, maybe to get my name out there. Okay. This has not gone up. You know, I keep refreshing. This has not gone up. Jules, why don't we turn to the, what do we got here? SoundCloud.com user, let's see.
That's the Jenkins, I think.
Oh, the Megan Jenkins show. Let's hear a bit of this. Ooh, Megan Jenkins is fine as fuck.
Welcome to the Megan Jenkins show. I'm Megan Jenkins.
Food Network star and host of Ginormous Foods, Josh Denny, and his lady Netta.
That could be Hunt.
Join Megan Jenkins and me, Brian Hunt.
Yep, there it was. And me, Brian Hunt.
For a very special Swampcast.
So did you hear that? I paused right in the middle of his last name. That's Brian Hunt. So this guy, he thinks, oh, this guy's in the industry still. I'll, do him a favor and maybe it'll come back. Wow,
this
look
is
at
a
that.
fun swapcast. So we're doing it's a return of March of the Pigs, and we also got Megan and Brian here. Hey. And your guys' podcast is called?
It's called the Megan Jenkins Show.
Oh, okay.
And I am Megan Jenkins.
How do you feel about that, Brian?
Man, he was such a happy guy back then, having a good life. You hear the difference in his voice between then and now, you know? Okay, let's go back to that post in the Bring Back group, Jules, and scan through that. See if there's any new information there, because I know people have been filling that stuff up with gems. Any new pictures? I know Luke Carberry might have had some extra stuff in there under his comment about Josh's apartment that he shared with Patrick Melton. And then, the apartment that he's in right now is Patrick's old space. Okay? Wonder if she's related to Tootsie Jenkins. Yeah, very funny. A swap cast. Yeah, someone says, as if a swap cast is a thing. He needs 10K to get to 0. Yeah. Interesting point there. Yeah, again, after he raises this 10K, that doesn't mean that he's out of the hot water. First of all, he's got to use that 10K. Don't they take fees? What is 10K in fees on GoFundMe? I mean, there's processing fees at the very least. So he says he needs $5,000 for the bills, $5,000 for the car. Has he not thought about fees? So somebody let me know what $10,000 is minus fees after a GoFundMe. At the end of the day, what are you getting? And do you not have to pay taxes on this $10,000?
That's a good question.
I mean, you must, right? Don't you need to pay taxes on the 10 grand? Is this going to get him in hot water? I mean, you can't just say, I want money, free money. There's no such thing as free money in this world, right? Let's say.
I sent you the BBG post if you want to go through it.
All right, I will. Cable Box Bird says it takes 5% of donations raised on its platform. There's also a 2.9% payment processing fee collected on each donation, along with 30 cents for every donations. For every donation. Okay, so yeah, that's somebody do the math. There's got to be someone who could do that math.
Los Angeles cool guy.
Yeah, what would you get? Yeah, you're a tax guy, Los Angeles tax guy. What would 10K be after 5% gone, 2.9% on every donation, and 30 cents on every donation? That's a lot of math. But I want to know. Is that closer to 6.5K, 7K? I don't know. So about 9K.
Do you think Gavin got this text?
Oh, yeah.
Asking people?
And what Denny really thinks Gavin is a guy who throws around money. Gavin hasn't even put in a dime of his own money for his own legal fund. Gavin is the same guy that took 8 weeks to pay me $125 for my fill-in appearance on his show. $125 is what he paid me. Took him 8 weeks. Sadly, I think you could be gifted up to $15,000 a year without being taxed. Seems like a lot of math, Los Angeles cool guy says. Okay, hope they don't repossess his podcasting gear. He might have even sold that. Now, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you sell some of the stuff you own before resorting to this?
Exactly.
Somebody says 1,100. What does that mean? After the coverage,
that the math of how much you'll have to pay in taxes?
I don't know. After the coverage, I wouldn't mind hearing the old NLO clip where Mike calls out Denny for the first time. Maybe we'll play that at the end. Gavin is a millionaire and made a bunch of construction worker guys pay him $250K. Yeah, that's true. Mike was right and is right. The amount is $14K.
Wow, he deleted all the comments. Every comment deleted.
Wow. So right now, this is breaking news. We refreshed Josh Denny's GoFundMe. All of your comments were deleted. Here's what I want you to do.
Even Brian Han, the nice comment.
I want everybody to send a quick email to GoFundMe saying your legitimate comments are being deleted by this guy and you believe this to be a faulty fundraiser. Because what you're saying in here isn't anything that's untruthful. And he's deleting all your comments in real time. Josh Denny is sitting there deleting comments on his GoFundMe. The $820 amount has not gone up one bit. So this could be it. Now let's see. His most recent donation was 55 minutes ago. So for almost 1 hour here, he has not received a dime. Now, Jay Rose showed me here. He showed me that that Denny will only accept donations of $5 or more. This is interesting. What a greedster. Enter your donation amount.
Yeah, that any amount helps.
Any amount helps. What a lie. Look at this. Jay Rose went to donate $1 so that he could leave a nasty comment. And he goes to do it. He gets a big red error message. It says, nope, donation must be at least $5. $1 won't work. So, and he sets that. I mean, you could set it to any amount. Josh Denny has set it to, it has to be $5. So that's really, really just a nasty thing to do. I thought any amount helped. You're right, Jules. All right. His previous fundraiser, let's pull this up and see what we have here. Provoked, a comedy special. So here it is. Help us fund Provoked, a comedy special. Should we look back at one of Josh's old fundraisers and see how it did? Here's the video from that day when Josh was going to make a comedy special called Provoked.
Hi, Internet. I'm stand-up comedian Josh Denny, and I'm here at West Side Comedy Club in Santa Monica, where I host my monthly show, The Darkest Hour.
And you're like, I don't like meat. I like fashion and cruciferous vegetables.
It's fun.
You know, I've been a stand-up comedian
You're not
for
allowed to do
almost 10
comedy
years
anymore.
now. People constantly ask me, Josh.
How about this? You're not allowed to do comedy
And you're not
anymore.
allowed to tell it like it is. You're
Yeah.
not allowed to give
No.
your listeners advice.
Never. You got that right. No more, this is how you need to live your life. No more tweeting about the rules of the road. No more comedy. Because you know what? You're a bag boy, bro. And I'm going to drink to that. We're going to watch this little video. This is my last shot of the day.
Should
Look
I
at
go
that.
to the store?
No, you don't have to do that. No, we're good. I don't want to get completely sick here today. But thank you for asking. Let's do this. Let's drink to this and watch his last fundraiser just for good old time's sake to see what he says. Everybody, raise your glass here. Here we go. What a beautiful morning.
Why don't you have one of those hour-long specials on the Netflix or the Comedy Central? You should just go on down to their offices and tell them to give you one. So we thought we'd give that a shot. Here's how it went. Going up to Comedy Central for the big meeting here this morning, around a back entrance where the talent goes in. A lot of people don't know that.
Look at this little clip here.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, man. Hey, sir.
Okay, see, this is interesting here. So when was this filmed? Because Josh is driving some sort of, what kind of car is that? You know, that's like a Camry or a Civic here. So this is what I imagine. Oh, it's a Ford. It's like a Ford Focus or something. A Ford Fusion. Didn't he have that? You know, so I thought he drove an economy vehicle such as this. You know, here he is. You got that beautiful Ford logo on the steering wheel there that I really wish they would do something with. Isn't that funny? Till this day, that Ford logo does nothing for people anymore. It really doesn't work. It's so great. You would think a logo like that might come back in vogue. It never did. You know, ever since Ford went through that terrible decline there in Detroit, that logo, that navy blue, yucky. Make it like bright red or something. Try a neon green with that oval. I bet that would do a lot for your brand. All right, let's see what he does here, driving that Ford Fusion.
Entrance where the talent goes in. A lot of people don't know that.
I might get a Fusion this week.
Hey, man. Hey, sir. Can I
It's a
help
funky
you?
dunky day.
Josh Denny here for a 10 a.m. meeting with Comedy Central. Josh Denny does not have a 10 a.m. meeting. Sorry. Do you have, is there a list or something you could check? Sir, you're not on the list.
This old bit.
All right, so the Comedy Central thing got weird this morning. Unfortunately, we have a later meeting.
So this is, if you're confused, this is a sketch he threw into his GoFundMe begging thing where he's pretending that he's driving to studios in Hollywood and they're all denying him access. It's that old self-deprecating, I'm not wearing any pants type of humor that we've seen hack comedians present us year after year throughout time.
With Netflix, so are you fucking serious? This guy again?
Terrible audio too.
Jesus Christ. Hey, man. Good to see you again.
Oh, hey, you.
Yeah, I should be
You're not on the list.
I'm pretty sure I'm on the list for Netflix meeting at 4 o'clock.
I'm sorry.
You know, this would be funny if it was Nick DiPaolo doing it, right? Yeah, I'm not going to put my special on Netflix. Too many pussies. Shout outs to Nick, though. I looked at those numbers today. 256,000 downloads, 1,000 views
killing it.
on Nick DiPaolo's stand-up special. I mean,
Can't argue with those numbers.
let me tell you something. Let me break into this. Nick DiPaolo put his stand-up special. We roasted him. the other day. He put his stand-up special up on YouTube for free, claiming that, the liberals at Facebook, fuck them. When in reality, he wasn't asked to do a special anywhere, so he put together the special himself, put it on YouTube. And for a guy who can't break 6,000 views ever on his podcast, you know, like his highest podcast, I think, is like 6,000 views. You know, this is a guy with a chat room full of 30 people half the time. He received 256,000 views on his YouTube special in just under a day. Now, many of those people could be all those liberals roasting him going to check it out, but if he's running ads on that video, he's got the last laugh there, in his mind, of course.
I doubt that it'll be monetized.
Yeah, he probably forgot to hit the button. Oh, yeah, it's got to be demonetized.
Yeah, because all the
He calls
racism.
people fag. Holy shit, so he's made nothing. It means zilch. Great. I forgot that it's Nick DiPaolo, and in his special, he opens it up with, fuck Muslims, fucking faggots, die. Oh, yeah, you're totally demonetized. Yeah, I mean, Steven Crowder gets demonetized for raising his right hand, you know. But shout outs to Nick. You know, that was a successful launch, I think. That's like his biggest number ever. You know, if Anthony Cumia put out a comedy special, there wouldn't be 256,000 views on it in one day. No. There's no way. So that was pretty good.
Plus, he got Bill Burr and Jim Gaffigan to promote it
Oh,
and stuff
really?
on Twitter. So
Jim Gaffigan, huge. Huge. Now, I would say the more views Nick gets, the worse for him, though. You know, because people are seeing it and going, wow, what a terrible guy. So I would say the less views, the better. It's like Redbar. You really don't want everyone seeing this.
I wouldn't want this at 200K views. I'd have to
No.
leave
We'd
town.
be in big trouble if 256,000 people saw this show. Okay, let's continue. Josh Denny, we're revisiting some of Josh Denny's old fundraisers. This one was a failed GoFundMe for his stand-up comedy special, Provoked, and we're watching the promotional video for that fundraiser.
I love that too. People are like, just get a special done. You know, you could just probably go down to comedy. Yeah, they don't fucking know who I am. They don't give a shit.
Whoa.
So now we got to come out and...
Look at this acting. So he's doing this sketch where he's pretending that he really is. And this is like too much. Like, we got it from the first one. You were denied from the Netflix building. Good. Move on. We get it. And now here he is. Look at this little piece of acting where they cut back to him at his apartment or some studio. And look what he says here.
I love that too. People are like, just get a special done. You know, you could just probably go down to comedy. Yeah, they don't fucking know who I am. They don't give a shit. So now we got to come out and... we're rolling. Do this homeless shit with these fucking ass. I'm sorry, what? We're rolling. We're rolling now?
No, he did not. Oh my God, Jules, you got to see this. He does this bit where he pretends he's talking. He doesn't know that they were recording. And then you hear the guy go, hey man, we're rolling. He goes, oh, what? Listen to this. This is worse than I thought. This is really bad.
I love that too. People are like, just get a special done. You know, you could...
Oh, wait. Look at what someone says. They go, 256,000 downloads. That's not even half of the Niggers Bop clip. Oh, that's right. I've received over 10 million views collectively, metaphysically, on my Niggers Bop song. Okay? Life is like a here in old. I hate fucking here in. They're all poor like Obama. Fuck Michelle Obama. Woo! Yeah, I've had probably over 20 million views on that.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the most viewed songs
What am I talking
all
about?
time.
Oh, I'm bigger than all these fucks. It does nothing. View counts on YouTube mean zilch unless you're being paid for them.
Damn, I wish Nick DiPaolo's special was like the intro part, and then he comes up on stage, takes off the microphone, and he just does N-Bop.
Yeah. So I could
Performs it
always
live.
say any number Nick DiPaolo gets to, he's not getting more than 10 million views. I could always say, yeah, I beat you with a song called Niggers Pop. Sorry. I'm more popular. Okay, look at this, Jules. So Denny is doing this bit where he's pretending that he doesn't know the camera's on, and he's ranting to the camera, and then the guy goes, we're rolling. And he goes, oh, fuck. Watch this.
Okay.
It's really pathetic.
I love that too. People are like, just get a special done. You know, you could just probably go down to comedy. Yeah, they don't fucking know who I am. They don't give a shit. So now we got to come out and Oh, we're rolling. To this homeless shit with these fucking ass. I'm sorry, what? We're rolling. We're rolling now? Yeah. Okay. Hey, everybody. We decided to make this thing ourselves. Come straight to you, the fans, the consumer. Yeah, it's a special. Let's just give me your stupid money so I can pretend to be a comedian and not kill myself in the next year.
Okay, and there it was. Thanks for watching. Now let's go over to Kickstarter and check out his social hand grenades. Limited edition vinyl release. Look at this. Now this one was from 2014, and there's a big disclaimer on my screen right now. Soups and Bear. It says, funding unsuccessful. The project's funding goal was not reached on Friday, August 1st, 2014 at 12:56 a.m. CDT. Oh, thanks for being so thorough, Kickstarter. That's really sweet. Social hand grenades, limited edition vinyl release. Get your very own limited edition 12-inch vinyl copy of Josh Denny's latest album, Social Hand Grenades. The album that got him in hot water with the Food Network execs because he has a bit on here about how all niggas is slaves. Yep. And that's publicly up on iTunes right now. And he thought, oh, I could be on the Food Network and then talk about slaves rowing my ship. $310 was pledged of his $3,500 goal. And I want to share with you the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. 2014, he had a failed GoFundMe with 11 backers. 11! Jules, give me the link for his newest project here today. His newest GoFundMe has 11 backers!
Whoa.
What is happening here today? So this guy is Mr. 11. Double down. Always double down on 11, baby. Always. Well, obviously not always, because it doesn't fucking work out! Oof. Swingers.
Careful, you're going to ring the speaker. Oh, careful not to touch the TV with that now, because it'll cut the screen that you think.
Got it. You got it. I broke my... we're going to have to order another one of these. Another $8.99 down the drain there. My pointer looking like Tony Hinchcliffe's crooked little dick.
Now, is today, May 10th of 2019, the day that Denny officially surpasses Melton as biggest fool?
Yeah, I would say so, man. Melton looks like a real, stand-up gentleman compared to this Denny. Who would have thought Melton's underling, Melton's understudy, Josh Denny? Because it was always Melton, and then you had, hey, if you, if you're out of Melton news, there's this guy Denny. He's kind of like Melton. But no. Yeah, Denny has definitely surpassed Melton as one of the craziest fools. I would say Melton is, they're equally disgusting. Melton's definitely got a lot of ins and outs, but as far as having zero shame, Denny is way in the lead right now. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Melton's traveling the world doing comedy, at least.
At least Melton's doing something. And I've got a Melton spy report coming up. This is insane. Remember last week I gave you a Melton spy report. Remember the guy said he went up to Melton and Melton said, no pictures, please. Mike is talented and funny, but he's wasting his time with Melton Watch. Remember this? I get an email. The next day after the show, I get an email. There was a second listener at the same exact show in Australia visiting Melton. I have a second spy report from the exact same show coming up that you won't believe. More details about Patrick Melton. Maybe we'll do that as a bonus today at the end of the show to celebrate Denny and Melton. Let's see what the chat's saying. Melton is... Melton off the boil at the moment? No, I don't know. For me, Melton is and will be forever number 2. Wow. Denny boils most my blood. Okay, Denny is worse. Melton is least. Denny is lesser than him. Wow. Yeah, spy on spy. We'll do that as a bonus at the end of the show here today. Okay, so let's see where we're at. Let's give this one more refresh, and then we're going to go to that bring back thread. What an exciting day here today. We are still at 11 donors. We've looked back at Josh Denny's past fundraisers, both completely failed. And then let's see this. We're going to go to our Facebook group here. Bring back Redbar Radio. Everybody should join this page, redbarradio.net/BBG. It's where all the stuff goes down throughout the week. Okay. And let's just look through the thread here today to see what we got, because a lot of people pitching in. Oh my God, I forgot to do this. I had a great bit. Fuck, I forgot this. And Jason Yates, I wanted to thank Jason Yates. Check this out. We've got a new video soundboard element thanks to Jason Yates. Check this out. So I was going to show you Josh Denny's fundraiser. I was going to read you the headline there. And then I was going to do this. So I was going to go, guys, Josh Denny just announced he's doing a fundraiser for $10,000. And then it would do this.
We got one!
How amazing is that? A video drop? A cutaway? I'll show you that one again. So every time we've got a fool doing something real good, we'll play this.
We got one!
And you gotta see the video element of this to make it. And this is good for the set to have a button like that.
You should
a physical
get one of
button
those.
with a light like that. Now, what is this from? This
Isn't
is
that Ghostbusters?
Is that Janini?
I don't know.
We got one!
How amazing is that? And I got another one for you here. Man, I completely forgot to play these. Here's another one. This one's really good. So imagine I just announced the Josh Denny fundraiser for the first time. And you're just hearing it for the first time, and then I play this. Wow. I mean, how exciting. And what a vibe. I'm just having the best day. Thank you to everybody who's contributed those little clips there. Jason Yates did one. Another guy did another. Aren't those cool? We got him. That's what I thought of the first minute we saw this. I was posting in the Bring Back group going, I am just, we got him. We did it. We did it. Like you make fun of a fool for years. This would be like if Anthony Cumia admitted defeat, and shut down shop. You'd say, guys, we got him. And everyone would cheer. Speaking of Anthony Cumia, I want to show you this right now.